Hi guys, it's been a while since I have posted a video, and this video is for me to say that I am sorry to the citizens, the residents, and the supporters of Westminster, South Carolina. I am truly sorry for my actions, and what I mean by that is that I had came into this campaign with only listening to what Susan Ramey and her team members were saying. Susan Ramey had said that she wanted to run a clean and honest and transparency campaign. The problem with that is that every time that they saw something that we might have posted or others might have posted, that we were to delete it. One of the examples were when Susan was talking about having a sick bank, and I didn't agree with that, and they let me know that night. But the post that I had done, I had asked Susan to make sure that it was okay before I had posted it. She was going to start selling some of her items at her house, and I truly wanted to make sure that I helped her and understood that if the good old boys got a hold of what was going on, that they would turn around and they would brutalize her and put her through the ringer, as she called it. And so therefore I believed that that would happen, and I wanted to protect Susan. And so I posted it after she had told me that it was okay, worded it somewhat different, and not very much longer, there was a post by Kelly Hall that had shown her daughter and somebody else that they were at the bar the weekend prior to that. The situation here is that when that happened, it started blowing up, and the campaign team, including Susan, did nothing. When I went into the messenger and I had said to them that I was really pissed that they were sitting around and they weren't doing anything, that they were allowing this to happen. Their comeback was I should have deleted the post like I was told to do. I didn't agree that I should keep deleting posts that I especially wanted to help, and I didn't see where I was wrong in having that post out since Susan needed the help for her daughter. And I was tired of making sure that my campaign was going to be clean and that they didn't like things if I had posted it. And the other thing was that they had said that I had questioned Susan. And that was another issue when Judy was telling me that I needed to show my support, my openly support, and that I was never to question Susan in public or try to humiliate her. When I asked for proof of this, she said about the proof of the sick bank that Susan had suggested on her page, which I didn't agree with. If the city doesn't have the money and they've already gone through their sick days, why should they have a sick bank, and why should the city pay for it when we're already supposedly financially struggling, as she claims? So it didn't make sense to me that Susan would say that we needed to turn around and have more money raised for them to take extended leave if they needed to. But yet she wants to say that Westminster is in financial ruin, in trouble. I'm still working on the budget, still trying to understand that. But so during that group, they all sat there and they said nothing, and to Judy. And when I called out Susan very early, actually the first time I responded, and it's already on my campaign page, about that, it was actually the last sentence that I asked. I said, Susan, are you not going to say anything? So 2 days later, Bernice had mentioned on the Westminster Truth Finding site that I should post Susan's apology, and that why I chose not to accept it. So I did. And no, I will not accept her apology. Susan allowed me to be publicly harassed on this post before all of them were deleted by whomever and wherever. Susan allowed the group members to turn around, and Judy mainly, because everybody else sat silent, to talk to me the way she did, like she did. And when I called Susan out on it about, are you not going to say anything? She never said anything except for, please stop the fussing. There was no fussing. It was important that you should stand up and say, Theresa did what I asked her to do. And that I never have trash talked her at all at that point. And then when I was accused of it, I asked Judy to prove it, and that's what she gave me, was the sick bag thing, or the sick bank, if you want to call it. I'm sorry. And the bottom line is that the post that Judy had done, when she had turned around and after she had yelled at me in the group, she had texted me, in a private message to me. And in one of the comments, Bernice said, "So where's your other side?" I didn't comment. I was over. Just like I thought when I was left the group, that I wasn't going to read the apology. Actually, when I first saw the apology was when I sent it to Westminster Truth Finding to show them that they had apologized to me, and I thought it was a very lame apology. In fact, I thought it was damage control. Susan had already executed me in the public's eye by this post that her daughter needed help. And Susan allowed me to be executed by Judy. And the group watched. None of them did anything to stand up for me. Nothing. So in my eyes, so you're going to tell me you're sorry for something that you did and you allowed 2 days later? If you can't defend one person for an action that you wanted, that stood up for you, that did this for you, that put her neck up for you so your daughter could get help, and then manipulate the situation because you have Kelly Hall and try to throw your daughter under the bus? How can you run a city of 2,400 people if you can allow people to keep saying over and over and over again, delete those posts, delete that comment, delete that post, don't do this, don't do that, but you want to claim that the good old boys do it? Isn't that being deceitful? And to handle that deceit, what do? You have me kicked out of the South Carolina, just in case anybody didn't know about it, the South Carolina campaign, the ones that are running for campaign. That site that was hidden forever, that we were going to open months ago, that never opened. And now is, I guess, not even active, it's archived or whatever it is. So luckily, I was able to go to Westminster Truth Finding and find a document on one of the budget things that I needed. And because I was blocked from that. And then I was blocked from or kicked out of building Oconee County, building the towns of Oconee County, or whatever, however it's said. But it's supposed to be building. So it's based on if you behave or you're not. So those two sites are based on if you behave or you say things that you're supposed to be saying. If you refute anything or if you embarrass Judy or anybody else in the same way, yeah, you're going to be kicked out of the group. And that's not what it's about. That's not what it should be about. It is supposed to be about the people. And this, I am truly, truly, truly sorry. And I can never, ever say how sorry that I am because it's meaningless. It's wordless. Here's a girl that went on the girl's side, stood up for Susan, was making sure that I had her back publicly in front of everyone. So no, don't believe me. Please don't believe me. You shouldn't believe me. Why should you? They took me out in the ocean, and they thought that I was going to have to hold on to them, and that I was going to have them for a life raft, sorry. And they found out that I'm not like everyone else, that I am not going to quit, that I'm not going to go hide underneath the rock, and I'm not going to say, okay, I'm so sorry, what can I do? Because I need to be part of your team. Please, please, please. No. I don't need to be part of your team to be voted in based on lies or deceit. A backstabbing. I like that word that somebody had used out there. I think it actually was Bernice that had used the word backstabbing. And about the ugliness between the divisions of the people. The ugliness is because the truth hasn't come out. See? The ugliness between the people is only because what is being done behind the scenes, everybody else is not seeing. So if you go steal that candy bar and nobody saw you, you still stole it. But I'll still believe that you're not a thief until I see the proof. But you still stole it. Susan Ramey is not who she is. What you see out here saying that she wants an honest and clean campaign is a lie. She's not trying to be transparent. Being transparent is also being transparent about who you are. Or at least for me, that it is. Their transparency is about money and budgeting and the city and whatever else it might be. My transparency is about who I am as a person and what I believe. And I'm not perfect. I understand that. And I made a huge mistake. And this might be political suicide by getting on here and telling you guys that I'm sorry. And you guys won't even want to have anything to do with me because how can we believe anything that she says? So yes, it might be politically suicide. But that's okay. And why is that okay? Because I need to still say that I am sorry. Whether you vote me in on November 5th or you don't vote me in, I am truly sorry for my actions. I had told you that I would stand there and I would study and that I would look up from black and white, and no matter what it was, that I was going to make sure that I understood what the truth was and what the facts of the Westminster's issues were. The problem is, in that same statement, I bashed the good old boys, and I believed everything that Susan and the team was telling me about the good old boys and how evil they were and that they were deleting things that they didn't like seeing and that Brian controlled all these sites and that he was doing all this and he was behind all this stuff. And I believed it. So yeah, I made a huge mistake. And I am here standing alone. And I will stand alone. Because now, for sure, I want you guys to trust me when you learn to trust me because of what I say and by my actions. So I'm not on Susan's side, most definitely not on Susan's side. I don't agree, and I don't think, out of my own opinion, that you should vote for Susan for being mayor. If Brian Ramey is as evil and deceitful and manipulative as they are claiming, at least Brian is doing it to your face. At least you know it's coming. Because with Susan, it's done behind your back. It's done behind closed doors. And she doesn't let you know who she really, truly is. So my vote, whether I know Brian or I don't know Brian, I know Susan. And to me, doing it behind closed doors is more dangerous than somebody out here doing it where you know what they're doing. I haven't met Brian. I actually never knew what he looked like until the other day when he held open the door. So honestly, I have to go out here and I have to be able to turn around and give them a chance and show them and the people that I truly, truly want what's best for Westminster. And if this is political suicide and I'm not voted in because of this, that's fine. But at least now I know that at least I came to the public and I told them that I am truly sorry for the decisions that I made without looking into the investigating or even questioning Brian Ramey and the rest of the team over there. And the good old boys. Because everything that they have been accused of on Susan's side, they're doing. Susan's side is doing it. They are deleting it. That's why there's a clean campaign. Don't ask questions. If you don't believe me, go try it. Go ask a crazy question on something that they're. And I'll tell you what, if they don't like the way that you asked it or the way you made a comment, they're going to delete it. I don't think the good old boys have done that. I haven't even seen it anyways. And I haven't seen anything that they have said to be true. So, my vote on November 5th for the mayor of Westminster will be Brian Ramey. At least with Brian Ramey, I know that whatever is being done or has or said or will be done, that'll be in the open. I also believe, now that I am asking questions about Brian Ramey, and that includes Linda Galbraith, and I hope that you don't mind me using your name today, but I happened to run her and met her at the park today. And she kind of let me know that she doesn't have a personal relationship with Brian, but Brian has always returned phone calls, has always answered questions, and has always been respectful. And is Brian perfect? I don't think Brian would even say that he is. There isn't anybody that's perfect. Would my vote be for Susan? No. Only because she's so secretive. And she allows everybody else to be secretive. And she's not honest. And she doesn't stand up for you. Or at least she didn't stand up for me. And I am truly sorry for what's going on in her life right now, because I have compassion that the house was burnt. Or like when Judy's father died. I wasn't going to say anything. And already Judy was already posting things. That wasn't even on me. But I have a right to defend myself. So whatever circumstances there are in life, you're in a campaign. You're running for politics. You're running for city council, or you're running for mayor. You don't have time for your personal life. Even though I'm sorry for you, you failed to realize that everybody else knew that they had already moved out. You didn't let the public know that. Or even when you saw the post, you didn't say anything. You let people believe what they want to believe. Even if it's wrong, you allow them to believe that. And I will help that family and Susan and her grandchildren if they need something. If I have it and they need it, I'll be more than happy to help them. Because we all know what it's like to lose something. But this I can tell you. I came out with a passion to turn around and want to be better for Westminster. I have hopes and dreams for Westminster because I can see what it can become and what it is. And the people, the only reason why there's division is because you've never been able to be honest about who Susan was if you knew her. So Susan remains to keep that going, dividing the city. And I think that Brian doesn't want division. He hasn't been out here defending himself. I don't know if I could do that. Well, I know I can't. Look, I'm already all over there about everything that they're doing. So I know that Brian doesn't want the division, because if he did, he would be out here posting things. He would be out here arguing with people about what's being said. But he's staying there and he's quiet. He doesn't want this for his people. And we are his people because he is our mayor. And because we are his people, he doesn't want the diversity. He doesn't want the conflict. If he wanted the conflict, I guarantee you that Brian probably has so much too that he could throw out there, but he doesn't. He doesn't spew all that out. So I just want to say this, that I hope that you will give me a chance to prove myself. I am not on Susan's side. I am on my own. And I am determined to turn around and study the issues that are important to you, Westminster. And I promise that if I have questions, I'll ask. I'm sorry if that steps on toes, but I don't have to worry about being kicked out of any groups or making sure that I'm scorned by teens or people. I've already lost all that in support. But that's okay, because I have my family that supports me. And I know that my heart is in the right place. But I needed to make sure that you understood. You, the people. You, the citizens of Westminster, and the residents, and the people that surround Westminster, that support the people in Westminster, and that want to see all this. I am truly sorry for the actions that I did by standing by Susan Ramey and her campaign. I am no longer part of that campaign, nor am I a supporter of Susan Ramey. So on November 5th, my vote will be for Brian Ramey. And as for the other ones for the city council, I know that the only people that I know about it are Wen and Victoria and the guys. And I'm not sure. I just know that I want people that are joining together, that want what's best. And you know what I really think? Now that I'm supporting Brian, I hope that someone tells me who I should be voting in, because I'm going to trust what he says. Why? Because Susan was a liar, and I caught her in it. And since Brian will be ultimately our mayor, he should have a city council that supports him. And then the rest of us, we support him either way. So either we're sitting beside him because we support him, or we're sitting beside him, behind him, or whatever, because we're part of his town, his city. So I'll ask opinions of who he should vote in. I haven't met him yet. Not even met him yet. Didn't even know what he looked like until the other day when he held the door open for my husband at the city council meeting. But I will say this, that if Brian is as evil and crooked and conniving as much as Susan and them say, then at least he's walking down that street and you know what he's doing. Then on the flip side, if Susan is evil, conniving, and manipulative, she's doing it behind closed doors. Which one would you rather have? Again, I am sorry for my actions. And I hope that you will find reasons or why that you can forgive me for my actions, and that you will allow me to prove myself to you that I really, truly care for Westminster.